Da 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 da. Hi everybody, it's Mr. Alqamoussi. Today we'll be introducing the basic parts of speech of the English language. In our previous unit, we examined and analyzed the meaning and components of a word. Now we can begin to explore combinations of words. When words are put together in a meaningful way, they become a sentence. A sentence is a set of words which come together to form a complete thought. Perhaps the most defining characteristic of a sentence is that it contains tense. In other words, a sentence is a happening. Just as a word is made up of several key components, a sentence requires two fundamental components: a verb, which is a happening, and a noun, which is what causes or does the happening. But there are also other components which make up the building blocks of a sentence. In this lesson, we'll briefly list these components with examples, and then examine each in more detail in later lessons. So let's begin simply. Let's start with a boy. Well, we can start with anything, really, because anything is a noun, even an idea. Let's call the boy John, or any other name. The name doesn't matter, because any name of a specific noun is called a proper noun. We distinguish proper nouns by capitalizing the first letter of the name. Back to John. John needs to do something. Let's say he kicked. He could have done anything, even just existing and doing nothing at all. But whatever John is doing is a verb, an action, a happening. Now we have a sentence. We end a sentence with an ending punctuation, such as a period, question mark, or exclamation point. Let's take John's name out. We're still talking about John, but instead of his proper noun, we've replaced his name with a pronoun. Pronouns take the place of a noun. Words like he, she, it, we, and I are all pronouns. Now, if we describe John in any way, we're using an adjective. Adjectives describe nouns. And if we describe what he did, for instance, how he kicked, then we're using an adverb. Adverbs describe verbs. Sometimes we use small words to quantify or specify nouns. These are called articles, or determiners. If we're describing these nouns in relation to one another, or to time and space, then these words are prepositions. Over, under, through, around, all tell us the position of our nouns in relation to one another. These are all prepositions. If we want to connect words or phrases together, we can employ a conjunction. Conjunctions join words, phrases, and even sentences. And finally, if we want to express excitement, alarm, or emotion, we can use an interjection. Essentially, these 9 basic components are what form all of our sentences. This is, of course, a simplified review of our main parts of speech, but it is an essential exposure to the building blocks of our language. Once we've mastered these main components, we can start exploring more complex semantical structures. So let's review what we've covered so far. Number your page from 1 to 12. In a moment, you'll see a series of short sentences containing words that are colored red. Try to determine the part of speech of the words in red. You can refer to the list of parts of speech in blue at the bottom of the screen. You may begin. Now let's review the answers and see how you did. I hope this was a useful basic introduction to English parts of speech. Thanks for watching.